In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about circulatory system. It is a topic on life science, on human physiology. So we will be discussing circulatory system. Now it is a very interesting thing because each and every part of our body is beneficiary of circulatory system, starting from the nail of your foot up to the hair of your head, and anything that is in our body is a beneficiary of this circulatory system. Then what is the primary organ? What is the most important organ of the circulatory system? And that important organ is the heart. Heart is the driving force. Heart is the pivotal point of circulatory system. It is at the nucleus of the circulatory system. That means, in other words, when we discuss about circulatory system, evidently our primary focus will be on heart, how heart functions, because only because heart functions, the circulatory system is operational. And in fact, the circulatory system is easy to understand, but it is also a little bit tricky. So let us try to understand with a small analogy. You cannot have a complete analogy with heart because heart is very unique. Nothing works, nothing is like heart. But let us try to see what with a close analogy and see if we can draw some kind of relationship. See, for example, consider a food supply chain. Now here you have factories A, B, C, D, E, where workers are working 24/7, like blast furnace, this kind of 24/7 workers are working. And so constantly food and water has to be supplied to all the factories. So there are multiple trains which constantly travels through all these points and supply food and water. Now these trains have to be refueled because trains also run by engine. So alpha and beta, these are the engine refueling points. Here the engine will be refueled, either it's a coal or diesel or whatever. And there is another train track, the smaller one, which is where there are 2 points P and P dash, where the water and food will be replenished. That means these trains will be again loading fresh food and water and removing all the used plates and used water bottles or empty water bottles at these points P and P dash. So there are kind of 2 tracks. In one track there are factories, in another track there are food replenishment points. So A to E are food and water delivery points, alpha and beta are engine refueling points, P and P dash are food and water refill points. So imagine multiple large factories A to E working 24/7. Trains constantly supply food and water at all these points, deliver food and water and collect used plates and empty bottles from A to E. Then after that the train comes and again refuels at point alpha. After it refuels, it goes to point P and P dash, whatever, from both sides of the track. It replenishes the food and water, that means collects fresh food and fresh food plates and fresh water bottles and get rid of used plates and empty water bottles. Okay, that is at the point number 4 after it refuels. Then again it comes to point beta because by this time it has traveled a bit, so again it will refuel the engine and then again makes onward journey from point A to E and then again supply food and water to the workers. So if you want, you can stop the video and just watch it. So this is a food supply chain where food and water are delivered to workers 24/7, and engine will be refueled and food and water will be replenished. Now let us see if we can, how this can be compared with our heart function. Similarly, a heart, okay, heart, we know that heart pumps blood. Heart is a very efficient pump. It pumps blood to organs, and this blood will be rich in oxygen. So this is the path, red path, pumps blood to organs, and this blood will be rich in oxygen. The oxygen rich blood reaches the organs, and organs will be using this oxygen to produce energy, and then the blood will be depleted with oxygen and rich with carbon dioxide, which will again come to heart. Now heart will pump this blood to lungs, and lungs will be removing the oxygen from this impure blood, and fresh oxygen will be absorbed into blood in the lungs, of course. So lungs will be removing carbon dioxide, and in this lungs blood will be absorbed, blood will absorb oxygen. Then this pure blood will again travel back to heart, and from heart again it will travel back to organs. So just like your typical food supply chain. I am not sure how helpful this analogy, but I think it might make it a little bit interesting. Of course, circulatory system itself is very interesting, but this might make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, now let us learn few facts about heart. That is also very interesting. Let us learn few facts about heart. Now, size of the heart is almost the size of clenched fist. You can see the left side figure. It needs 8% of total body oxygen. Even though it's a small in size, but it needs a lot of oxygen because it constantly pumps, constantly works. An adult heart needs approximately 70 liters of oxygen in one day. Few more facts about heart. It is located just to the left of center in between the lungs. So it is located just in between the lungs, but slightly tilted towards the left. You see the blue square, blue rectangle, that is the point I am reading now. So let us go to another figure where I want to show you where it is located. Look at this bigger one, this brown color. That bigger thing is lung, which I have already indicated, and the one which is smaller inside is the heart, and it is slightly towards the left. So heart is an organ that pumps blood but never stops. Pumps more than 3 billion times during entire lifetime. Volume of blood in an adult is 5 liters, and heart pumps 5 liters blood per minute, or 7,200 liters per day. Weight of the heart is 350 gram approximately. You can compare this. Weight of the brain is 1.25 kilogram, whereas weight of liver is approximately 1.4 kilogram, and weight of lungs is approximately 1 kilogram. So heart weight is much smaller, but consumes enormous amount of oxygen. In whatever, we have 5 liters of blood, and heart pumps the entire amount of blood in 1 minute, and it pumps again and again same blood, and pumps about 7,200 liters of blood in one day. That's the reason heart needs so much of oxygen, and it has to have a very rich in blood supply. So from next tutorial we'll study much more in details about heart.